Yeah, I figured let's just get started. I'll find another time for us to go outside and enjoy. But I figured let me wear something very pretty for y'all. Very cutesy. Listen, I got all the spring tings, honey. Listen, I got the watermelon juice with the flower glass cup. Okay, okay. Then I got my new mug. Look at her. She's so cute. Oh my god, I'm screaming. I'm screaming. She's too cute. Oh my god, I almost bought this like miniature sofa thing at Ross today. It's so cute because it's small, but the pattern on it was so ugly. I was like, ugh, what am I really gonna do with this? So I didn't get it. But I might find something similar to it later on down the road. I had no idea what I wanted to do on it with it, but maybe I could have put one of my miniature bags on it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Oh, y'all, there's so many announcements, so many things changing, circulating that I want to talk to y'all about before we get into planning for the energetic week ahead, for the cyclical week ahead. So, how about this? Let me change out of this because this is this is even bigger than I'm losing weight, y'all. That's another change that's going on. So this used to fit me a lot better than it did a few weeks ago. There's so much going on. So let me look in my closet and see what I can find that's just a little bit more comfortable, and then we can kind of like get started. So I'm hoping the people that were waiting on me tap in. So just give me about a minute or two. I'll be right back. Whew. Okay, how's this? Much better, right? Yeah, let's work with this. Whew. I wanted to still give spring without feeling like I was in 20-degree weather, which is exactly what it felt like earlier today. This I can already tell just intuitively, y'all, that this year, weather-wise, is gonna be one of the hottest and wettest that we've seen. Just what I know. It's just an intuitive feeling. I don't got no science behind it. But looking at how that snow was a few weeks ago, and it always ripples out. And I remember a few years ago I predicted the big floods that happened in the Northeast. So if you don't got your insurances situated, if you're thinking about moving because you're in a danger zone, I would heed that because no, no. Or it could be that I'm just getting older and I'm in officially my grown woman body, so she be reacting to things a little differently. But oh child, let me take a second to myself, y'all. Ooh, whew, okay. I feel like I should get my iPad. I think I am gonna get my iPad. One second. Oh, okay. So replay game. Just go ahead and uh skip ahead if you need to. We're gonna talk about a few things that I want to discuss in terms of like what's going on the platform. Typically when I write my announcements, I when I post the announcement, I post it in article form. But I'm in the throes of grad school with the group partner from hell, and honestly, I thank God so much. I thank her so much for putting me on ice and giving me that 5 year gap between grad school and undergrad because I would not know how to deal with this little girl if it wasn't for that. Like when I say the whitest of fragility is going on, it really just annoys me. Like I never want to work with this woman ever again. So yeah. So let me just create a new document. I'm gonna put some music for y'all. I think I still need a little bit time to like restart myself. So let's do that. Knew y'all were gonna fall. I knew y'all were gonna fall. Ooh, that's another thing we need to talk about. It's that I rather this fall than the phone. Okay, so with a little bit of that time, honestly, I'm feeling more called to just connect with y'all instead of like teach right now. I don't know if it's because my nerves and like being late and I'm kind of like off my routine on Sundays. Um, Honestly, let's start with that. Like, I feel like my routines, let me just catch y'all up on some things. I feel like my routines are shifting. Again, I went from having a night owl routine to help me get more sleep because my mind was just too chaotic. Not too chaotic, but it was more active at night, especially with it being winter and all that stuff. Um, and it was working for a while, and I started being able to get into the groove of things. And then obviously, life doesn't let you stay in one routine for too long because you have to constantly adjust so you're not stagnant. So I've been doing that. I've switched to a more morning twilight routine. And I experimented with it over the last week and it's been really good. Um, but it all really just accounts to me having a really strong evening routine. And I find that body doubling, listening to other people's evening routines helps me wind down because there's not another person in the house to like say, okay, let's head to bed together. Like I used to have a cat, I used to live at home with family. I don't have that privilege anymore. So it's like, I don't have like a traditional 9 to 5 either. That's like, oh, you have to get up at this certain time either. So it's really me just trying to find self discipline within myself, and it's been working. But then again, as a woman, we have 4 cycles within our bodies, and at any point in time, them cycles be shifting. So, and then that's why I came up with the window of opportunity framework because I wanted to align more with my cycles that are natural to me and natural to the universe rather than society because I do not belong in modern society, not in the way that has been preached and taught to us. So I'm so used to, I'm getting used to accepting living an unconventional outlier outsider lifestyle. So yeah, that's been changing with me a lot. Um And that being said, there's going to be some changes to this because I'm shifting. This is shifting too. That's naturally how this thing works. I've never came on here and said that it's always going to be one way. It's going to grow with me as I grow with it, right? So, this being said, we're going to also start including lunar cycles into our weekly planning because I noticed that following the planetary systems is great and all, but that's like big picture, and we're currently on Earth, right? The closest planet to the Earth is the moon and the sun, obviously, but it's something, it's the moon shifts so much, especially as a woman. We also take a lot of the world takes a lot of influence from the moon. So with the moon shifting, it's a lot easier to gauge societal changes in addition to your own personal changes in a framework that is also acknowledging the bigger and the more narrowed picture, right? Let me know if that resonates. But I find I'm learning as I go. Me and Spirit's been talking. Me and my ancestors been talking, and I feel like that's better for me. As I navigate how to like bring this into fruition because it's such an old system that people just don't talk about no more. So bringing it back and articulating it to you guys, it's honestly one of my missions for the next year or so. So I do have the prototype pretty much already done. I'm going to add the lunar phases to it, and then I get to print it out, and then we'll actually get to plan live together with it. I'm really excited for that because I'm actually pretty tired of using the standard planner. It just doesn't speak to me like before, and I think that's part of the reason why some of my other things that I need to keep up with in real life is kind of hard to keep up with that because I don't have something that's particular to me, right? I'm still basically what I'm trying to say is if you're spiritual, you are not exempt from the game of life. Like you're not. You're really not. As much as we say we don't want to like um work for a living and things like that, we still technically have to. It doesn't make us exempt from it. However, we have a home field advantage, I guess you could say, because we are native to this world, um, being birthed in the body. Like you can't transcend the body without, you know, taking yourself completely out. So, or it being your time to go completely out. So you still had to accommodate the body. You still had to have a roof over your head, feed it, clothe it, all that things. So um once you make peace with that, I've learned it's a lot easier because you understand that it is a game, it is a reflection, and what's true is what's internal to you, right? And spirit acknowledges this with you, but the hard part comes in is when you fall for the uh the illusions of the game and the fake beliefs of the game, that's when you get a little caught up. So I'm trying to find myself in balance, because there is, if you lean toward too much of either of the extremes, you're off base, right? So building that neutrality, building that balance is the best thing that I could do here. And hence why I'm teaching the framework to you as I'm learning that, because I've learned that if I wait for God knows how long for it to be perfect, it's never going to be perfect, right? So we're going to lean into that unconventional aspect of building a business, building a platform, building a community, and go with the flow, because honestly, I'm tired of fighting the rules just because I'm spiritual. Does that make sense? Like, and this is why I said in one of my old videos, it's like, you have, being spiritual takes a lot of accountability that a lot of people don't want to take over. It is very hard. It's a lot of courage for you to take to be a spiritual sovereign being. This is a person without a religious dogmatic tie. I'm not talking about ATRs and things like that. I'm talking about not mysticism, esoterics, occult. Okay. So there's that, you know. We're also changing the name of this Sunday Tea Live. Initially, I created this space thinking that it would be mainly a space for people to come in and after like their week and of like, living your mystic life and doing your witchy things and getting your divinations and going through the throes of life, and just wanting a place where like you can bring that all together and synthesize it in one space, as well as relax and meet new people that are like you. And that's still the same space, but I wanted to give it a name that would acknowledge what we do here. And I feel like the title Sunday Tea Live just wasn't enough from an outsider's point of view. Like, okay. So it may change again in the future. But for now, this is what I got. Again, growing with me, right? So Sunday Tea Live is no more after this. We are switching to Sovereign Sunday Reset. Okay. So the SSR. Okay. So, and I honestly like that acronym way, way, way better. So let's do no affiliation with the other SSSR. So I feel like that is that a political acronym? Y'all know, no mixed media. Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, that being said, I'm also going to create a new publication on Substack. It's gonna be called Sovereign Jalloh. And that's going to be my space where I can have fun with the lifestyle content aspects of life. I realize that this is very heavy work. And as fun as I'm trying to make it be, it is still an education platform at the end of the day. And again, I'm tired of fighting the algorithms and the verticals. So you're gonna see me post on both publications. And then those publications are each going to have their own external social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest too. I'm thinking about as well. Um, to just spread the news, connect, and all that stuff. I've already started working on the logistics for that. It's going to go live pretty soon. I say pretty soon because I'm in the throes of grad school, and I already told y'all who I'm dealing with. And it's not just one group project, it's all three of them because I got the same project partner for all three. Send love my way. Okay. Okay. Don't pray for me, affirm for me. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, so I really wanted to give y'all like a winter wrap up of like my favorites that I've been loving, like that dress I wore earlier. Been wearing that down since I got it. And things that just make life easier from uh mystic point of view. And I realized with the vertical, if I'm not and with the algorithm verticals, if I'm not just education, it's harder to get people to come around. And if I'm not just not lifestyle, then it's harder to get people to come around. So they'll still be sisters, they'll still be intertwining and things like that. Like I'm even thinking about bringing serendipity over there because I could share my novellas a little bit better on there too. So like things like that. I'm just trying to find the niche that works for me. And it seems like education and lifestyle are the niches. And it goes from there. Instead of like people in blogs, most people don't care about that. So I'm kind of taking a page out of like my old university studies on media and like going back to the roots because before I'd be like, I don't need a niche now. I don't need to pick a path. I'm the one that lives outside the box. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but then that also puts you at a disadvantage because you now know the rules of the game and you choose not to play. Choose not to play accordingly. Now this is all maturity. Y'all know I just turned 31 last week. I've matured, I've evolved. Okay. So understanding that not everything is done in a vacuum, you can find the balance between things. Okay. So don't be so damn extreme all the time. Finding ways where you're getting in your own way. That was one of the very small but mighty ways I've been getting in my own way. So I'm fixing it. I'm course correcting now. So that is that. Okay. Um, grad school, I've talked about that. I got nominated to be in the honor society. I got nominated to be in the honor society. Me, if you had told me 3 years ago this is where I would be, what? A 4.0 nominated for an honor society at a, I'm not going to say my school name, but my school is lit. It's annoying, but it's lit at the same time. So, wow. Spirit, I keep asking, I keep telling Spirit, show me how good it gets. And she's like, bet, say no more. I got something for you. And this is one of them. Not anticipating it at all. I was like, as long as I pass, I pass. No, above and beyond each and every time. That's how you know. That's how you know. So if you're struggling out there and you're trying to do all you can, just know big surprises that you couldn't even imagine are on the way. Like I'm so excited that I'm almost scared. Like I'm like, girl, what else you got for me? What? So I'm excited for that. The ceremony is this Friday. So that was another part of my errands. I needed to get like a white undershirt for this outfit, which is also going to be on Sovereign Jalloh's publication as well, and all the other Sovereign Jalloh platforms as well. I'm going to do like a little get ready with me thing. We're going to talk a lot about wisdom, but it's going to be very much like big sister advice, mystic founder advice, but also very much lifestyle niche now. Like I'm gonna show you a cute thing. Okay. We'll eventually get brand deals and all the things. Like it's going to be legitimately like everything I've ever wanted. It's gonna be like the way I describe it, it's gonna be like a like digital magazine type vibe. Like that's kind of like how I'm like curating it in my head. So I'm looking forward to like doing that. 555 on the clock right now, and it's Sunday, March 22nd. You know that number is big for me if you've been following me for a while now. So we've been spirits locked in, and I can't help but to be locked in. So it's time to revive. Like I've been in this revival period for a while. I've been updating little things around the home. I've been sourcing things that I want to upgrade just to make this place a little bit more homey. Because it's been given survival mode for the last 3 years. And I feel like now that I'm in school, I can breathe again. And we can go into that some other time. But yeah, that's kind of like all the things that are coming about. It being nearly the end of the semester, so projects are kicking in. My program is also learning with us on how to teach us as uh I'm a millennial, I'm 95. but Gen Z is literally right after me. So I'm right at the cusp of the end. And I still move like a Gen Zer in a way, especially because I'm neurospicy. So my learning habits are changing or shifting from what they used to be. I used to barely pass with a 2.6 GPA. Now I get 4.0s like it's nothing. It's still hard. It's still a challenge. Or let me not say challenge, because that's another thing I want to change about my verbiage. And y'all know I teach y'all a lot about etymology. Your power of your words, the power of the tongue is paramount, right? So instead of saying challenges, I want to start saying learning curve, because just because it's new to you doesn't mean it's a challenge. I mean, it still does, but like not in the way that it's like insurmountable. Like you can't fix it, you can't overcome it. If it's a learning curve, it kind of switches my brain and say, "Oh, okay, this is something easily taken care of or soon to be taken care of, that or it's already been resolved. I just need to be patient." So that way it tells my anxiety like, oh, we don't need to like go into like survival mode again. We're currently in revival on our way to thriving. And you could thrive while you're in revival too. So, there's no steady confusion with that. Um, so yeah, so we've talked about so much so far. Prototype grad school honor society, the moon cycles being included in the window of opportunity framework, the new sovereign Jalloh accounts popping in pretty soon. What else? Mm, yeah, health changes. As y'all can see from how bulky that dress looked on me. Um, I am very much in my muscle woman era. I want to get back into performing like I used to back in undergrad. I want to just have a better synergetic relationship with my body. And I'm doing that through changing like my diet. I already eat pretty clean, except for when I'm eating out. That's a little different. But when I'm home and I'm on my ish, I eat pretty clean. But I'm noticing that my grocery habits are the problem, not necessarily what I'm eating, but it's related to what I'm eating. Does that make sense? Like, I know I should lay off the dairy, and I do. I go weeks to months not eating dairy, and then I'll have like a craving of it, and then I'll eat a little bit, and then like I'm back on not having it, for example. But I'm noticing like um grocery store trips are no longer the healthiest way to get your food anymore. Like, and I've known that before because I used to work in a grocery store. But something about the last 2, 3 years, my body is like over it. Same with like body care, skincare, things like that. I want to go back to like holistic, like natural products. I still love me a bougie Sephora Ultra product like a Tatcha or Kiehl's or something like that. Like that's great and all, but I just feel like that's it doesn't help with energizing me on an esoteric level. And as a spiritual leader, I need that, you know? So I'm considering switching, going back to like all the natural things that I used to do, like the natural body butters, the natural bar soaps and things like that. Like not getting so caught up in like the newest and latest like scent or something like that. Like I've gotten too mainstream with my products, not even realizing it. And like going to stores like TJ Maxx and Marshalls and stuff like that, it's great when it's affordable, but like there there aren't like actual, it's like I think what it is is this skincare to body care boom that's going on in the industry. Like everything got a niacinamide in it. Everything got a I just bought a Shea Moisture body lotion, body balm thing from Walmart, thinking that that's the closest I can get until I can get to the smaller black owned store that sells like the natural soaps and things that I want down in Germantown. And they got niacinamide and glycolic acid and whatever else is in it I don't want the acids. I really don't. I just want the natural butter. And I understand it's trendy because it's a PR thing and everybody wants to sound like they're a esthetician now. Like, yeah, no, my body's just like, I'm over it. Same with like my bedding. I just got all new cotton sheets. Even though they feel rougher in texture, I had the best sleep of my life on it. Even the hotel that I went to last week, cotton sheets. I didn't pay too much attention to I just wanted it to feel nice, but I wasn't paying attention to the actual material these things were made of. You know what I'm saying? Like this is very soft fabric, but it's still mostly polyester, you know? So I want to get back into the natural ingredients of things, like going to the farmers markets, but that's kind of hard in terms of transportation for me. So I found uh delivery for farmers market foods that you could get. Game changer. Love technology. Okay. So I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be everything gotta be supernatural and da da da, because that's another thing. I used to be in that performative space of looking super spiritual and sounding super spiritual. And it's just like, no, like ever since I really tapped into this sovereign path that I'm on, I don't care about none of that. I will still I will go to a farmer's market in a three-piece suit if I need to. You feel me? You feel me? I will have me my crystal beads in the middle of a conference room. I don't care. I don't care. It's whatever feels resonant and synergetic to me, you know? And I've been telling y'all that word is so important. It's getting more and more important to me over time. So there's that. I'm also meeting new people. If you follow Energy, I think I talked about her last week. She created this like Telegram thing, and I always knew there were spiritual people in Philly, but it's nice to see them actually like all come in one spot in a group chat. So I'm looking forward to that. They're already talking about meeting up next week. So I'm looking forward to connecting with more people and see how we can connect. Somebody's already asked me to collaborate on an event with them. So we'll see how that aligns. Um, yeah. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about is being solo and sovereign. Y'all know I'm estranged from my family. Y'all know that I've been estranged for about 5 years, but really did the cutoff with everybody around 3 years ago. So and I'm reaping the benefits of that now. Like I already had the benefits, but like I see the long term effects of it now. Best thing I've ever done. I would gladly do it again. Um, and it really just I feel like I would have already had some type of like terminal disease if I had stayed where I was at, you know, or it could have been worse and I would have been, you know, KO'd. So I don't regret it at all, but that does come with some learning curves, especially in terms of finances and being in school and the world is changing. Like, um, I do have to apply for benefits because I am a student and I also got laid off, you know? So finances are like, you know, like they can always improve, you know? So that's another motivator in doing this because you have to play the game. You do have to play the game. But you can play the game in your own way. There's not just one way to play the game. And if you're willing to listen to spirit and your guides and trust yourself throughout the process, then you could definitely succeed. So that's what I'm doing. So applying for the benefits that I need, regardless of what it looks like, I don't care. Like as long as it doesn't make my heart race, as long as my anxiety and my depression aren't acting up because of it as a cause, that's how I know I'm on the right track. When I'm peaceful and I'm neutral and there's not a thousand alarms going off around me, I'm like, okay. Is it perfect? No. There's always room for improvement. I could better optimize this, or I could better make this more logistically savvy, or whatever the thing is. But like, again, I'm only one person and I don't have the traditional support system or the societal expectation of a support system or the societal um logic of how to go about things anymore. That every time I've done things the quote unquote right way, I've been screwed over multiple times. Now I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna find whatever loophole works for me and I'm gonna play the game that way. It is what it is. It is what it is. What works for me is not gonna work for everybody else. And the thing is, when I say you need to learn how to play the game, you need to learn how to ask questions and be resourceful. And this is where I don't think overthinking is a bad thing, because overthinking got me thinking outside of the box, and then I was able to ask questions that most people wouldn't ask, and then I got results that most people wouldn't get because I asked the question, you know? So sometimes this neurospiciness isn't a hindrance to you, it's more of a blessing. It's your superpower if you know how to use it correctly. Well, what is correctly though, right? A little bit of a contradiction, or not even a contradiction, a paradox within itself, right? But it is what it is. So that is that. So starting next week, we're gonna be planning a lot differently. Um, I do want to go get to a Staples this week to print out the prototype, but I still want to add the lunar systems to it. So we'll see how I feel about that. I have a paper due this week, so there is a lot going on. And then also like taking care of the household, taking care of myself, my society situations going on. Um, yeah, dealing with chaos beings thinking that they can outsmart you and use their racist logic to make you feel like you're beneath them, like so many things, but nothing that I can't overcome because, baby, I got a Saturn in Pisces. And as far as I know, that's my biggest flex. I done overcome it. Okay? I'm getting everything I deserve and more because there's interest on it. Okay? So, that being said, drink the last of my little juice. Cheers to y'all. Thank y'all for listening and watching the replay. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow across all platforms. Remember, Retired Elder Daughter platform is as subscriber based. You have to subscribe in order to get the notifications for that, as well as follow me, Jalloh Reborn, to get the notifications for whenever I'm posting. And then I'll also share the links for the other new platforms pretty soon. And yeah, I hope y'all have a blessed week. If you still want to go through the planning process again, feel free to watch any of my other videos. But I'm going to take this time to reset. I think that's exactly what the spring equinox is asking for. I wanted to give y'all a Reiki session on the day of the equinox, but I was called to rest and sleep. My cycle even came on that day. So, and women, we're the most powerful when we're on our cycle. So I was really excited to do that, but Spirit said, I need you to get yourself together. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to be in all my feminine glory with my little flower hat, you know. And yeah, I hope you all have a great week. Let me know if you have any questions below. And then until next time, my love, my darling, my honey, bunches of oats. Peace. I love you. See you later.